The sun, moon and the stars, what is the prevalence? Seats of learning, giving stars for matriculation, calling children pupils like the sun. On our flags, medals, money, heraldry, movie corporations, state government centres, civic centres, military and police. You will find stars and symbols on all of these. The symbols are everywhere in all what we build, like the big wheel ride or the Big Dipper. This is a motif that all goes back to the zodiac, that turning of the celestial circle. How many of you realise this when you are playing a game of darts or roulette is a game of chance? Spin the wheel with its demarcations like the zodiac with the little white ball, i.e. the sun, that you throw into it. Well, the zodiac, the idea is fortune, Lady Fortune and fates, able to read your destiny and fortune. When we have a birthday, how many people realise to this day that the particular idiom comes from? What do we have? We have a round cake which we cut into geometrical segments, then put a little candle with a little light on it, like the star for each day of your life. And the zodiac is exactly that, a round template or table with geometric compartments which represents all the days of your life. We are trapped, as it were, inside the circle of the zodiac, and we commemorate this. The ancients knew about it as well. The rolling of the dice is connected to the squaring of the circle. In all ancient temples of the world, including Christian temples, divination, i.e. divinations, in the rolling of the dice. They call those dice the Ermen Thermen, and the high priest would go to the holy place to roll the dice in order to divine the gods, how to install or the gods wanted to happen. There is many facts that have been hidden from you. The idea of playing drafts or playing a game of chess, the black and white squares, the black and white squares represent the turning of night and day. White for day and black for night. It's that simple. Because the movement of the luminaries, infinite turning of the movement of the turning of night and day, like when you blink your eyes, night and day, dark and night, happening intensively with the movement of the sun and the moon and the stars and wandering stars. We have this strange phenomena that the ancients knew, miraculously incredible. We just don't even know about it to this day. And they try to commemorate this in a game of chess, the 64 squares and the various pieces that represent the constellations. Freemasons understand these mysteries of secret societies, often have been the ones being the great achievers. Religions have not achieved anything. They are responsible for confusing this gnosis and secret societies, and the mystery cults were the ones who preserved a lot of this knowledge. Freemasons understand also that within the playing cards, the regular 52 cards, the secret of the Great Pyramids and the building of the pyramids and the geometry and numerology and the architect principles are in the 52 playing cards. That's the mysteries of these incredible cards, because Egyptians wasn't left brain. They weren't left brain people. They didn't write things down in stacks and stacks of books in order to explain to us in the kind of way they had other ways of communicating to us that we think are simpletons now, because we have become so dependent on left brain thought and left brain cognition. The Egyptians wasn't like that. They used whole brain, and there is a whole different communication that comes with that. So the child's games like rolling the dice or playing cards are incredible. Dominoes and chess drafts, all board games, is studied correctly, not only there to teach us how to unify consciousness. That's what the idea was. We have reduced it to a near fun and games and competitiveness now. The whole agenda is very, very different now. Even hopscotch, the idea of jumping with 1 foot and the 2 feet along this numbered path is connected to the old concept of the tree of life. It's connected to what is known is in the Kabbalistic tree of life, but again toned down in the way it will preserve it through the ages, because whoever created it is understood that the ages would change, and there would be a time would come and ordinary people wouldn't care about these devices and not want people to preserve the ancient gnosis. They would fall into this Newtonian sleep. So the miracle was they was able to preserve the cultured idioms in a cryptic way that we will preserve, or perhaps not even understand what we are doing. So many of the idioms that we are performed today, the jumping of the bull's head you see in the Latin types of countries, the ceremonies in Nepal, the carousels and playing cards, even nursery rhymes, it's well known that they are filled with astro-theological sidereal motifs, and Jack being quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. For eons, the candlestick was understood to be the axis of the earth, and Jack is the name of the sun. So right there is the sun passing over the polar axis, was encapsulated in a little poem, a story that doesn't mean much in any other way today. The fact that we have fountains in the squares of the world, gushing water, will come to understand that a lot of this has very ancient history. The fact that we light up fireworks at times of ceremony, the fireworks display ritual goes back a long way. It has to do with the male impregnating the female. We have the phallic, which is fire, which is shot off into the womb of the body of the night, i.e. goddess Nuth. Why? So there will be a promising tomorrow. The stars and luminaries were always seen as embryonic life forms in the great womb, the great night. The womb of the great night, goddess Nuth. And so at great times of ceremony, when people were looking forward to a promising tomorrow and an abundance, they had the ceremony of firing this phallic light, the little energetic sperm, to the ovum or into the womb of the night goddess for a promising tomorrow. Even the money that we use, and the fact that we get the 3 basic colours, silver, gold and bronze, those represent the sun, moon and earth. When people are given medals of honour, I also have stellar symbols on them, but they come in those 3 colours in order to commemorate that triculation descends to us from the stars, the sun being the great achiever, the moon being the next, and the bronze representing the earth, the 3 great levels of attribulation. And even when we are given medals, often we are standing on what looks like an Egyptian pyramid. Not only are we given medals which are circular, but we are often given ones that are in the shape of a star. It's also known that most of the dances of the world, and most specifically the waltz, minutes, but more particularly the age-old dances that come out of the Celtic countries, out of Britain, Cornwall, Scotland, very geometrically precise jigs and wheels, and dances of old are very particular. Very often in Scotland they would lay the swords and raise of the swords and raise the swords to the represent different geometrical shapes of the stars of David. The movement of the feet and the legs are precise. A lot of the dancers don't realise them. Some do. These dances are based on coming out of the ancient tradition of the past, in which they represent geometrical and astrological aspects and ratios, and also conjunctions in the sky. In the African continent, and for East India, China, we wouldn't have to tell people that the dance is that. They would be absolutely aware of it.